guys. Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys. Okay, sorry. I had to stop the first stream for you guys that were here, for whoever was here. I had to stop it. My apologies. We were having a pet emergency and I caught it as I was kind of reading on the side. So we're back. We're gonna have this damn sleepover. I refuse to let us not have the sleepover. So we're back as per usual. Well, we usually don't do that. So of course it's you guys, Scott and myself, and we are doing our super scary Saturday sleepover. Let me light our campfire and let's just resume our storytelling. Cause nightmares and whatnot. And also the sunlight is leaving from over here. So we need to get this done so I can see what I'm reading. Cause mama eyes ain't that good. Mama say my eyes ain't that good. Okay, so today's story is the wrath of Pele. Go on and say it, Scott.
Was that the soccer player?
I don't know, because I am going to pretend like I haven't read this story before. Okay. Well, we didn't get all the way through it, so I'm just going to make comments because that's my job. Okay, so get your campfire ready, get your s'mores ready, and let's go. Let's do this. Tendrils of wispy steam rose here and there from the sunken landscape that was the summit of, I still don't know the name. Kilauea. Scott, what is it? Hit it.
Kilauea.
Period. I don't know how to say it, and I don't want to offend. So we'll let Scott offend.
Oh, thanks.
One of the most active volcanoes on the island of Hawaii. One day we got to get there, Scott. I want to go to Hawaii. Yeah. I want to steal a stone and have Goddess Pele coming chasing after me. So I could show her my princess crown. What you talking about? How am I getting ahead? Oh, I am getting ahead. Now y'all see why I don't read these stories beforehand, because this brain don't work like that, okay? It looks more like the surface of the moon than part of a tropical island, David's dad commented as the family took in the view from the museum and park headquarters. Is it going to blow? David's younger brother Chip asked with some concern. David shook his head. Do you think they'd let all of the tourists anywhere near the place if the volcano was going to erupt? He gestured towards a dozen people who were also enjoying the view. Actually, they would, someone said. David turned to see the speaker, a pleasant-faced young man who appeared to be a native islander. Kilauea, what is this, Scott? Period. Has actually been in the state of eruption since 1983, he informed. I would have loved. That's a long time. I don't know when this book was written, but I'm sure it had been a long time by that point. But okay, keep going, y'all. Sometimes it's more spectacular than others. Pele has been busy. What's Pele? David asked. The young man smiled. Not what, who. Pele is a great fire goddess, and her home is here in the here go that word again. Okay, Scott, how do you say this?
Kilauea.
No, not that one. I got a new one for you. I got to spell it. Halemau. Halamumu.
Sure.
Yes, halamumu, y'all. Okay, I don't know if that's really how I said. Correct me if I'm wrong. My apologies if I offend. He pointed to a distant depression in the floor of the crater. She's moody and short-tempered. And when she's angry, she stamps her foot so hard it shakes the ground quakes. Let's go make up some stuff. Getting a little ahead of myself because I already read this part. He looked thoughtfully for a moment. But Pele is a builder too. At times, she sends lava to the sea. When the fiery flows harden, They have been known to add hundreds of acres of new land to the island. That sounds spectacular, Dave's mom said, her eyes filled with wonder as she gazed at the volcano. It is, the islander responded. Actually, if you want to get a closer look at the lava reaching the sea, just drive out about 20 miles towards the ocean and see for yourself. But be careful. The water may look calm, but it can be dangerous if you get too close. Can we go, Dad, please? Chip begged. He looked hopefully at his parents. It sounds really cool, he exclaimed. Maybe I could even find some neat rocks for my collection. The young islander quickly held up his hand. Oh no. Pele is a selfish goddess. It would be disrespectful for a stranger to steal what is hers. And anyone who does will inevitably feel her revenge. Oh, Lord Jesus. Hell have no fury like a woman's, not revenge, but scorn, period. His voice grew ominous. Some say that in retribution, Pele claims her offender's spirit as her own to serve her forever. Okay, honey, she gonna be okay. You about to be cooking and cleaning. You gonna be babysitting some children. You need to, honey, okay. Initiating her new slave in a bath of fire. Then the young man winked, making David unsure if the grim tale was meant to be taken seriously or not. Once back in the rental car, David's mom took a look at the map. Here it is, she said, tracing a line with her finger. It really isn't that far out of our way. David's father smiled. Well, then let's do it. From the back seat, Chip suddenly asked, people don't really believe that stuff about the fire goddess, do they? I'm sure many do, his mom answered. These islands have a very rich history and tradition. Besides, we shouldn't just discount something because we don't understand it. Smart woman, you better teach one each one. You better raise them children. Like, girl, don't you be over there judging them because they could judge us back, period. True, his father added. Smart man. But that man at the museum was making the story more dramatic for our benefit. The earthquakes on these islands are caused when pressure builds up and is released in the volcanoes, not when a mythological princess stamps her foot or goddess stamps her foot. I'm looking at my crown thinking I'm a princess. Or it could really mean that, sir. You don't know. You weren't there. You on vacation. You don't know what these people deal with every day. After a few miles, the highway narrowed and finally became no more than a dirt road. David's dad pulled into an open area that appeared to be a rough parking lot, and everyone got out. All around were signs of post-lava flows. Jumbles of black and reddish brown volcanic rock sloped down to the sea. Here and there, hardy vegetation had gained footholds to form oases of green. There's the path, David yelled, racing ahead. Not so fast, his mom called out. She pointed to a sign near the path that said closed to the public. Oh, come on, Chip begged. There's nobody here. Who's going to know if we go a little closer, David insisted. I really want to get a piece of rock as a souvenir. Their mom shook her head. I'm sure they had a good reason for closing the path. Remember what the man at the museum said. This area can be dangerous. Girl, somebody needs to be the voice of reason here. Oh my God. Scott, would you have let the kids go?
No.
Well, you kind of a rule follower. We may switch. I may have let them go. I like adventures. And as for taking a rock, their dad added sternly, even if you don't share someone else's belief, you really must respect their wishes. Sir, you don't know what them rocks got. You don't know if they got scorpions. Like, let me tell you, I be watching stuff on Australia, and I'm scared to take anything from there. Australia is like dangerous. For real. They got like a lot of dangerous animals. Like, I would be afraid. Sir, you don't know what Hawaii got over there. You don't know how it mesh with what you got up back home. You don't know that. As David glumly walked back to the car, he noticed a glossy black rock no bigger than a walnut on the ground. And since no one was watching, he picked it up. Heavy for its size, the rock felt smooth and warm in his hands. What can it hurt, he thought. We'll be gone by tomorrow. Slipping the rock in his pocket, David looked up to see Chip staring at him with that "you're not supposed to do that" look in his eye. This is what I said last time I was on here. That's like strike 45. I've had time to think about it. Your mom, that man at the museum said no. Your mama said no. Your daddy said no. The goddess said no. Your brother is telling you with his eyes, he like, Scott, look at me. Is that no?
It's no.
Okay, wait. One more time.
It's no.
That's no. Like, sir, no means no. No means no. Okay, wait. Okay, I lost my place. I'm sorry, y'all. David looked up this. Oh, wait. Knowing Chip liked secrets, David put his finger to his lips, signaling his little brother not to tell. The next afternoon, David sat quietly in the window seat of the plane that would take him and his family back home. David was sorry to be leaving, but he was glad he came away with his special souvenir. You ain't gonna be glad for long, David. He could feel the shape of the glossy black rock in the pocket of his jeans. He fidgeted in his seat. The rock still felt warm, uncomfortably warm. Sir, it did not come fresh and hot out the volcano oven. So you should be freaked out that it's sitting there that warm. I would have left that rock right where I found it. But okay, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. Are you okay, honey? His mom asked. Yeah, David replied. Below, the island slipped from view. There was only sparkling blue ocean as far as the eye can see. The unpleasant sensation passed. I'm fine. It was very late when the family arrived at the airport in Los Angeles, and past midnight when they got home. David could barely keep his eyes open while he undressed for bed. He threw his jeans over the back of a chair, and the glossy black rock fell out of his pocket and rolled into the center of the room. Picking it up, he tossed the rock back into his desk, crawled into bed, and fell fast asleep. When David awoke, it was already 9 o'clock. His body was still operating on Hawaii time. I would like for my body to operate on that too. Scott.
Okay.
Where it was only 6 o'clock. Groggy, David pulled the comforter over his head. Suddenly his eyes popped open. He was like, what? Was something burning? Slipping out of his bed, he traced the source of the smell to a small patch of his desktop that appeared to be slightly charred. At the center of the marred spot was a volcanic rock. This is too weird, David muttered under his breath. He reached out and touched the wooden desk. It was eerily warm, but the rock itself was cool. Again, I would have took that rock somewhere and gave it back. There's a logical explanation for this, he said aloud. This kind of rock probably gives off heat for a while. He dumped out all the pencils from his metal box on his desk, slid the rock into the box, and snapped the lid shut. Then he slipped the box into his t-shirt drawer and hurried to get dressed. But as he opened his bedroom door to head downstairs for breakfast, he once again caught a faint whiff of smoke. It was coming from the t-shirt drawer. Hoping he was wrong, David pulled open the drawer, then drew back in alarm. The metal tin was growing, and the t-shirt near it was badly scorched. Ooh, I gotta go. I'm kidding. That's what I did last time. I'm a trickster. I'm a jokester. Did you get the joke, Scott? Did you get the joke, people? Without thinking, he reached out for the metal box, then pulled his finger away in pain. What am I going to do? He moaned. He couldn't ask his parents for help. They will want to know where the rock came from, and he would have to admit that he disobeyed him. Then he had an idea. Sir, get rid of the damn rock. If you are in California and you are near an ocean, take it there and throw it in there and give it back to Pele. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? This thing about to burn down your whole house. It's about to give you some damn third-degree burn on your body, and you just running around here like, oh my God, I should tell my mom and dad. No, you shouldn't have picked the rock up in the first place, sir. That was number one. But okay, we're here. You need to give the rock back, sir. They done already told you it come with a goddess and some slavery. But nevertheless, we gonna persist because he got an idea, y'all. Here we go. Racing to his closet, David frantically tossed aside a few things, then dragged out his science kit. Lord Jesus, he gonna science the goddess away. He yanked open the top and pulled out a pair of metal tongs. Maneuvering carefully, he used the tongs to pry open the metal box. He then clamped them around the glowing rock. Creeping downstairs, still gripping the rock with the tongs, David pressed himself against the wall to avoid being seen by his parents, who were busily preparing a late breakfast in the kitchen. Sweat trickled down his forehead, but he managed to silently slide the glass patio door open. Once outside, he tossed the bizarre rock into the fishing pond. That's the wrong kind of water, sir. That his dad had so proudly constructed in one corner of the backyard. The water sputtered and sizzled a little as the rock slipped beneath the surface, and two small goldfish swam close to investigate, then quickly zipped away. Because, sir, they about to boil. You about to have some boiled fish. Sir, is it going to boil away the pond? Like, I just feel like this is bad. This is all bad, and we're not using logic today. We just like, let me get this rock, even though this man said it's cursed. Oh my God, I want to take it home. I need a rock. Said no one ever. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. See, it was these dots, and then here we go. I bet you that water boiled away. Scott, how much you want to bet?
Probably, that's my guess.
Everybody's gambling nowadays. Y'all take a gamble. What do you think? Do you think maybe the water's boiled away? You know? David's dad said later that day as he stepped through the patio door holding a shallow bucket, the pond is dried up. Who would have thought, David? Let me give him maybe you shouldn't do this again. Look, Scott. David, sitting at the kitchen table working on an airplane model with Chip, snapped his gaze up to his father. A stab of fear made his muscles tighten. He was like, ooh.
Messed up.
Oh, you done messed up now, David. He'll have no fury. David's mom turned from the counter where she'd been slicing apples to make a pie. What on earth do you mean? Just what I said, he responded. It's dry as a bone. Where them fish at? Where them goldfish at? How much y'all pay for them? Was it koi fish or goldfish?
Goldfish.
I bet you it was koi fish. Koi fish expensive. David owed his daddy some money. Just putting it out there. This is all that there is left. He opened a newspaper into the kitchen floor and emptied the contents of the bucket. Several withered fish lay lifeless within a tangled mat of parchment water plants. He shook the bucket and a small, glossy black rock slid out. Uh-oh. There go the monkey paw. Hey, David, Chip began. That's the rock you... But David kicked him sharply under the table. I just don't understand, their father said in puzzlement. It hasn't been that hot here. It should take weeks for that water to evaporate like that. It ain't been that hot, but also there ain't been no stone that your son stole from Hawaii in there either. He shook his head. I suppose I should check to see if there are any leaks. David's mom carefully put down her paring knife. Well, I've got to see this for myself, she declared. Me too, Chip added, bounding from his chair. David looked at the unalive fish. I'll just throw these poor guys in the trash. Flush them down the toilet, sir. As soon as the rest of the family was outside, David bent down with trembling fingers, picked up the now cool rock. Clutching it tightly in his fist, he whispered fearfully, as if trying to appease some invisible being. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you angry. Then he slipped the rock into his pocket, wrapped the unalive fish and plants in the newspaper, and stuffed them into the trash. He put the rock in the trash too, with some newspaper. David, you just want to start a fire. Just go and smoke some cigarettes and just throw them in there too. Just go. David, just take a can. Well, what did we say? What year was this? 1983 was the year they announced. We don't know what year this is. Just take a can of like some hairspray and put it in the microwave and just put it on for like 5 minutes. Let's just see what happens, David. You're pretty dangerous, David. The patio door slid open again, and everyone trooped into the kitchen. It's really weird, Chip announced. Don't you want to see it, David? But before he could answer, his mother put her hand on his forehead. Are you okay? She said with concern. You look a little feverish. I'm fine, he lied. How could he tell her about the icy dread that was seeping into his thoughts? Sir, it's seeping into your face. Your mama looking at you like, what's wrong with you? Your mama know. Mamas be knowing. The growing terror that an ancient being an ocean away was seeking retribution for his thoughtless act. Throughout the rest of the day, he tried to figure out what to do. Just when it seemed there was no way to get rid of the rock, David had an idea. Lord Jesus, not another one. Oh, Lord David. Oh, this is scary. My heart is pounding. Indeed, it is, but not in like a way. It's like, oh Lord, what is this boy gonna do, child? Oh. Going straight to his father's garden shed, he found a small shovel. When he scooped a shallow hole in the rich, dark soil of the flower garden, with his heart pounding, mine is too, David fished the rock from his pocket, dropped it into the hole, and quickly covered it up. There, he declared. Now you can't do any harm, sir. It's just okay. You thought that about the pond and watched them poor little goldfish dart away for their life. Okay, David. Let's see what happens here. Because we got this little dash thing again. The next night, David's parents were out to dinner, leaving him in charge of taking care of Chip. Here's the telephone number of the restaurant where we'll be. This got to be the 90s because they would have gave the cell phone number. Yeah, go and get some Aquanet and just put it, because you remember back then they had CFCs. Put it over in the microwave, sir, for like 5 minutes. Since you got all these ideas, there's an idea too. Y'all don't do that for real. That is just me being sarcastic. Don't do that for real. Children, don't do that. It's gonna be a bad idea. But David is full of them. You don't want to be full of them like David. Don't be like David. His mom said, handing David a piece of notebook paper. We won't be late. I told Miss Samuels next door that you two will be home alone, and she said she'll be happy to come over if you need anything. We'll be fine, Mom, David replied. With the rock buried in the flower garden now out of his mind, David was confident that he had beaten Pele's wrath. 30 minutes later, he felt the first tremors underneath his feet. Oh, Lord, y'all having earthquakes. But y'all in California, so that's normal. Did you feel that, Chip questioned, looking up from the TV screen? Was that an earthquake? Probably, David responded casually. He was used to tiny earthquakes that were common in the LA area. So you could have took your butt right onto that beach and threw that damn thing in the ocean so it could float back to Hawaii. I don't know how many days that take. I've never went from California to Hawaii, I'm not a rock, so I don't know, but you could have threw it in the ocean. You could have threw it in the ocean. She could have got her rock back. Suddenly, a stronger tremor shook the house, and Chip dove under the sturdy wooden coffee table. David screamed for his brother to stay put. From his vantage point, he had a clear view of the patio and backyard beyond. And what he saw made his legs buckle. A huge, jagged rift had opened in the flower bed. As the house shook more violently, the rift widened and red flames spewed high into the night sky. So it sounded like a volcano. Riveted to the spot, David watched in horror as a tall, slender being rose from within the inferno. Her entire body glowed intensely as if it were white hot, and her long hair flickered and danced like flames. Oh, y'all scared? Whoa, Scott. Whoa. Well, she came more like this. Okay, wait, let me set it up. She gotta get that fire, baby, because she a volcano princess. She like, get your... Who told you steal my... Who told you? Pele, he managed to croak out. Her fiery eyes blazed with anger. She pissed. You stole from her, sir. And she held her hand to David while the ground continued to vibrate and things trembled everywhere. No, he shrieked as the words of the young man at the museum screamed in his brain. Some say that in retribution, Pele claims the offender's spirit as her own to serve her forever. Sir, get your kitchen gloves ready, sir. Get your sponge ready, baby. You doing dishes. Okay? You babysit your brother good. You got skills because you watching Pele's kids now, sir. You owe her. Stealing rocks. Was it worth it for a rock? And not a crack rock, like a regular rock. Twisting away, David attempted to run, but a wall of fire, it was like blaze. It was a bigger fire, but you know, we know what we're talking about. It's like, oh wait, I lost my place. Okay, wait. I'm almost done and I lost my place. This is sad. Oh, but a wall of fire sprang up around him, blocking his retreat. Through the blaze, he could see Chip cringe in terror under the table. Give her the rock back, he screamed. It's too late, David cried. Then, against his will, he moved helplessly towards the fiery goddess. The end, y'all. Oh my God. Oh, I'm scared. Huh? David about to be, honey. David about to be, I don't know, scooping cat litter and everything else, child. He about to be, David is an indentured servant forever, I guess. I don't know. What did you guys learn? Scott, what did you learn? What's your lesson learned?
Don't mess with Pele.
Don't be messing with no Pele. The soccer player too. Let's just add all Pele's in there. The lesson I learned is don't be taking stuff. When people warn you, listen. Especially if they like a native. Listen. You know, I've been to a few countries because I was in the military. And you know what? The best advice I got was from the locals because, hey, that's their city. They know what time it is. And that includes going to different people's hoods too, period. What did y'all learn from this? If you learned anything, put it down in the comment section. I think that is all we got.
All right.
So tomorrow we'll be back with Sunday School, Fun Day School, and I got to do Sherlock. I got a good one. It's like a good fun Sherlock coming up tomorrow. So I know this one is fun. I've read it a few times because it's like a really funny story. It's a real fun story. So anyway. I think we're going to conclude. Sorry, I had to do the video over. My apologies. There was a little snafu. So anyway, with that, we bid you guys adieu from wherever we are to wherever you are. Peace, love, and happiness. And we will see you guys tomorrow as long as nothing pops up, anything weird pops up. So we'll see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bye.